I feel like it'll just get better from that.
Okay, and your social media, you mentioned it's a form of communication for you. But other than a form of communication, do you you mentioned also about masking behind it. Do you use it for any of those reasons?
No, because, I mean, like I said, only my friends and family are on there, so, I mean, they know who the real me is.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I feel like that's for people that just need to know who they, like, find themselves.
Right, completely understandable. So just another thing about today's technology. One thing we have now are like smartphones, smart TVs. What do you think about smartphones right now and how they're going to evolve?
I mean, it's crazy because you always think that how can it get any better than this? And so, I mean, I feel like, oh man. I feel like one thing, batteries will be able to stay charged longer. We'll be able to have like more data, and that will it'll be like not just like, because I mean this is basically like a mini computer, but like even like a bigger computer, like huge company computers can be like just stored into a little thing, so you can just have it in your business and say, oh, I need to fill out these files or whatever. You can just do it like that, and I feel like that's another good thing because it helps businesses. You can be away but still do your work.
Right. And that's another thing too. We see even like with home alarm systems and stuff. That's another form of today's technology. You can be out on business, but you pull out your smartphone and you can lock the doors in the house. You can put the window screens down. It just comes to show you that even from far away, you don't even have to be behind the screen of your phone. You can just do it while you're miles away. Yeah. Is that something that you see maybe yourself using in the future whenever maybe you go off to college or you get married or you have your own life, your own family?
Yeah, definitely, because I tend to forget things quite a bit. And so I can be like, oh, did I forget to lock the door? Did I forget to, close the garage? I can just pull my phone and say, oh yeah, it's all done. I can set my alarm. And also, like, if someone was trying to break into my house, I would get a call right then from the police or whatever saying, oh, they got it covered, they're taken out. And so that would make me feel really secure on my home as well.
Okay. And if there's something that you could tell or that you wish you could change about the way that teens use social media today, what would it be?
Don't be so hateful about it, because I feel like I see it more in girls, is that they just kind of use it to make themselves feel better by bashing other people or looking up things that just make them feel better themselves, like, oh, at least I'm not 700 pounds like this girl, or ugly like this girl, I feel like that should come from the inside, not from looking at someone else and judging. You should try to evaluate yourself instead of examining you next to somebody else.
Right. And you make a good point by pointing that out, that it is hurtful to sometimes hurt other people, but it's more hurtful whenever you're hiding behind a Facebook profile, whenever you're hiding behind an account that, you know who you are, but other people can't tell who you really are, And so with that, I don't know, has there ever been a time where you thought that maybe, hey, whenever I get older, I'm not going to let my kids use social media? What do you think about a future for social media with your own kids? I know you're 16, but looking down the road.
I mean, I never really thought about that, but that's a good point, because I know that I've been bullied sometimes, like in the past on there, and I mean, I don't want my kids having to go through that, but at the same time, I feel like social media is so much part of our society now that if you don't have it, you're kind of an outcast, and because I mean, I want the best for my kids. If I do have kids, I want the best for them. I want to make sure that they are very well, like, rounded, and that they understand. Like, I feel like social media also helps you be more well-rounded, because you can see other people, and like if they post what's going on with their lives, you can kind of like relate to something. But I feel like how I have those apps like Tinder and stuff like that now. It's that? It's kind of like a dating thing. There's like a lot of dating. I definitely will not let them have that. That's for sure, because that can be kind of scary. But I feel like I would let them have it. Mm-hmm. But I feel also like that they if they like there's something really bad on there, I would take it away in a heartbeat, because I don't want them harming anybody or themselves on there.
Right. So I don't know. Have you ever heard the term helicopter parent?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. So what a helicopter parent is, they're kind of that parent that like hovers over their kid. If the kid's on their cell phone, they're hovering over him. The kid's on the computer, they're hovering over him. So it's kind of that helicopter parent. Do you feel that maybe you would be a helicopter parent knowing that how hateful girls can be and that the downside to social media, do you feel you'd be that way? Or
No, because then like all trust would be kind of lost between a kid and a parent. But at the same time, I don't want to be completely blinded to if, let's say, they were doing something just awful on there. I mean, I would want to be aware, but not every second be like, oh, what's my kid doing on here, you know, and like have their passwords and everything. No, because I mean, I want to give them their own freedoms and let them trust me, because I definitely will trust them unless they give me a complete reason not to.
So has social media given you the opportunity to maybe be independent or express yourself or find out who you are?
I feel like a lot of that comes from just the things that I've gone through, but also from seeing other people's the hardships they go through. It makes me feel good, because I don't go through everything people do, and so it helps me be more humble that way.
What do you think about these people that are so transparent on Facebook, or they are transparent on their accounts? People that tell you, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm eating with so-and-so. What do you think about that?
I feel like they're lonely, because they don't have anybody to talk to if they're just going to keep going on and on about what they're doing every second of the day. Like, get my nails done, and they tag the place. Like, I could go there and, like, just go there and watch you the whole time. And that's dangerous, too, but I just feel like I feel it's kind of lonely if they just talk to themselves.
Yeah. So I wasn't aware what you just said, that whenever you like put a place at where you're at, somebody can find where you are.
Oh yeah, like let's say I went and got my nails done. I love getting my nails done. So say I was like, oh, I'm getting my nails done with my sister. I could tag my sister in that post, and I could also tag like the place with like, let's say, Solar Nails. I could tag it in there, and if I was some creepy guy, I could go on there, click it, and say, oh, and it gives me directions to the place.
Wow. Does that not scare you?
Oh, it does. I don't use the location spot, because that's dangerous.
Yeah. Have you ever had or experienced anyone that maybe has gone through that, where they put where they're at and somebody's followed them there?
I've heard of stories about it. People came to our school a while ago and told us about a girl who was trapped down because she had tagged herself in some Facebook posts, and she was killed. And so, yeah, it was pretty crazy. And so definitely, no.
Right. And that's the reality of it too, is that you have to come to realize that it's not just you're posting it and you can see it, other people can see it too. Do you ever feel that maybe sometimes you get misinterpreted by what you put on social media, or people misinterpret other people?
Definitely people misinterpret other people, because I mean, it's not like you're saying it face to face and you can't see the facial expressions and you can't hear like the vocal range that you have. People could take something you say completely different and say, oh, that girl is so bad for what she believes in, and she could repost a picture and it could, like, the words could mean something to her, but means something completely different to somebody else, and they just think differently of them until they talk face to face and they wouldn't know.
Right. And that's the point that you bring up, is that you can't actually see what someone is, what their facial expression looks like or what they're feeling. So do you think that maybe someone who's upset or someone who's depressed, they can portray themselves as being happy? What do you think about that? Somebody can be the total opposite of what they really are.
Yeah, that's crazy, because some people, you don't even know if they're going through hard things, or they could be the happiest person in the world, but you would know because they posted that one Facebook post or that one Twitter tweet, and it was just them being sad and depressed. You're like, oh, they need help, but they could be the happiest person, or they could be the saddest person. So, I mean, you can get way too involved in it, but yeah. If you keep yourself out, it's better.
Right. Do you feel that you're way too involved in it?
Oh, definitely, no.
No? Do you have an equal balance of using?
Yeah, equal balance. And I mean, I don't want everybody knowing my business.
Yeah.
But, I mean, because if my best friends, like, they know everything about me. And so, I mean, I tell them, so why would I want to tell anybody else?
Right, right. And just going back to how you mentioned that people, like, can't show their emotions. With today's technology, you obviously have a smartphone, you have social media on there, but you also have something called texting.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about texting and how it's influenced the way that you communicate with others?
I love texting. Like, I'll text all the time. I'm always texting my friends, see what they're doing. But at the same time, I feel like, I wouldn't say so much in my case, because I really do have good personal skills, but other people, they can recluse back and just, like, text on the phone. When you get in, if you hang with them, they're just on the phone the whole time. They don't know what to say. And so they're just, words aren't really being spoken anymore. I feel like it's more just over text and over emojis and everything.
Right. And I have younger siblings too, and I understand whenever you say that people are just like sitting down at their phone. There's some times where I go to the house and I see that they're just constantly on your phone, and you wonder, does that person know how to communicate? Do my brothers know how to communicate? Do you think it's become something that's affecting the way that teens communicate?
I really do because like if I'm with like I used to have a friend and she was kind of just shy. She wouldn't even like know how to order pizza because she was so scared of like just talking to someone on the phone. Like it's just the phone. Like you're not even seeing them face to face in person. And so I don't know how they're ever gonna like get a job interview or anything because they can't like speak.
Right.
Yeah. They'll just text them and say I want a job.
Right. Another thing too that I've seen is the way that teens communicate and adolescents communicate with their parents through texting. Is that something that happens in your daily life? Or?
Yeah, like let's say I like made a good grade on a test, I'd like text my dad and my mom, I'd be like, I made it like 100 on something, and they'd be like, yeah, good job, and then we come home and we talk about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, some parents like everything just strictly text and then come home and act like nothing's fine, like everything's
right.
fine. Because some parents like they fight with their kids over text. I'm like,
How does that make you feel knowing that like kids will fight through their parents through texting?
Because I feel like a lot of it can be misinterpreted really bad, and like it can be like really disrespectful to parents. And so I mean, you should always try to respect your parents the most you can. And so I feel like in person, it would be easier to respect them, and also you could just like keep your mouth shut and just not say anything and say, yeah, I understand I'm wrong, but on text you have to say something back, and so yeah.
So it's more of a respecting for you to. I mean, you tell your parents, obviously, you text them, hey, I did a good job on this.
Yeah.
But you also have the ability to communicate with them in person, which is a good thing as well. Most teens, I mean, they'll hide behind a cell phone, but when you put them in front of their parents, they lock themselves up in their room and they just don't communicate.
Yeah.
Is that something that maybe you've thought about, like, later on? I know we keep on going back to, like, the future and stuff, but is that something that you've thought about with how the way that you're going to communicate with your kids?
I feel like if I need them to like, let's say like me and someone are out of town, like, hey, I need to go pick up your brother from school, just to send a quick text, like I think that's okay. But if like they come home and they're in the same house and texting me and saying they need something, unless they're like dying sick, I'll say you can go get it yourself. And if they just like close yourself in their rooms like for like days on end, I'll give them the phone because you need to just walk around and not get bed sores, because I feel like some kids just do that, just sit and then just milk around.
Right. Well, Gabby, I've enjoyed talking to you today about the topic of social media. Obviously, it's something that's happening in your generation. It's something that has changed from the old-fashioned generation to today's generation. You've mentioned it's something that's going to be prevalent in our future. It's something that's going to eventually govern the way that we communicate. It's going to change our aspects on how we see life and stuff like that. So I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me about that today. Hopefully it's opened your eyes to some things. I know it's opened my eyes. I've learned some things from it today that I didn't know. But I'd appreciate that you shared that with me. And so next session that we meet, we'll be talking about a different topic. So thank you for talking to me today about social media and technology.
All right, thank you.